Hey y'all, welcome back to the Goddess Talk. Today I want to talk about what it means to reparent yourself and what that looks like. When I first got into the concept of like reparenting yourself, I was years into like my spiritual journey and like already had my awakening. And I was just kind of like I was going through a moment where I felt lost on like what I needed and who I was and how do I like basically give myself my own needs, like what that looks like. Um so let's just kind of get into it. Reparenting yourself to me is choosing the best thing for yourself every single day and also identifying what you need. I think part of it, you can start out the blue and just like decide today, like I'm gonna reparent myself by making better decisions for myself. And after a while, you'll notice that your needs change over time. And especially if you haven't really understood what exactly you need in relationships and just for yourself, you'll go down eventually and reevaluate what you've been needing. But reparenting yourself to me is choosing the best thing, the knowing of something giving you the best outcome. Okay. I think that when I was in my journey, I struggled a lot with like what does like your my daily routine looks like. I when I grew up, I spent a lot of time alone. A lot of my important years from like 9 to 15, I was alone a lot and I didn't even have anyone in the house to give me structure. So my journey for reparenting myself was kind of like really practical in a way. It was like knowing, okay, if you stay up 3 nights in a row, like that fourth night, you're going to feel like shit. And you have work that day or whatever. It was very practical, like I said. I just started to kind of realize like, oh, there's things that I have to do and learn. And over time I learned just as my natural identity, I knew how I like certain things and how I didn't like certain things. So that kind of helped with reparenting myself. But when it comes to like spiritual aspects and emotional aspects, reparenting yourself looks like, how do you react when you fail? How do you react when you accomplish something really big or small? What are the things that you tell yourself when you get a flat tire? What are the mindsets that you have when it comes to dating someone and that failing and you missing the red flags? Like, what does that grace look like? Do you even give yourself grace? Reparenting yourself can be very practical, but it's really a mindset thing and how you talk to yourself when life gets hard and how you talk to yourself when life is really good. Do you undermine life? Do you undermine your own daily accomplishments? Do you undermine progress in your life? Do you acknowledge yourself? Do you even place yourself as the main character within your life and allow everything else outside of you to be an effect of that cause being yourself? Does that make sense? Like, us being ourselves is can create reactions, right? Either good or bad. But like, are you embracing your way of being where your outside world reacts to that? Like, how do you embrace that? What does that look like? Okay. When I started to reparent myself, I started to see like almost everything I accomplished, I never was celebrated. I was never celebrated by my parents like growing up in certain instances. Like my birthdays were forgotten a lot of times, especially when I lived with one parent. I'm not going to go into who, but if you know me, you know. But when I was living with one certain parent, my birthdays were forgotten a lot of the time, and I had to kind of like reassess how I celebrate myself as I became an adult, and it really only happened in the last like 2 years where I really allowed people to celebrate me and be there for me because they love me. Reparenting myself was also like allowing people to love me, allowing people to be there. And it's still something that I continuously have to do, right? It's not just like this automatic thing that I have. It's more of like I have to intentionally turn it on because my natural setting is like, no, no one's gonna celebrate you. Nobody wants to celebrate you. Nobody has time to celebrate you, and your birthday will be forgotten. Like that's my natural setting within my being. So I have to like switch that on. So like what are your natural settings within yourself and how can you reparent yourself to put all the good things on, like whatever it is that your parents failed to do. um the patterns can continue and it might look like you also embracing those things that you failed to do, or they failed to do but you embracing that and it continuing on. Okay, so like I said, as I navigate my journey, I see how I undermine things constantly. When I graduated college, um, I didn't get the proper celebration. One of my parents kind of just totally stole my moment the day of my graduation. What else? Many other accomplishments. I've taken so many certifications. I've done so much, and every single time I've done that, I just kind of breeze through it like, oh, just one more certification I did. Like, last year I took a class for like 6 months, a peer support class, and I graduated with one of my dream schools that I wanted to go to for my BA. And I was celebrated, but like internally, it wasn't clicking still. It wasn't like I didn't feel anything. And part of reparenting myself is also like allowing myself to be happy and excited and loving that I did that for myself. So reparenting yourself is a lot deeper than practical matters and like knowing like okay, as an adult you need a bedtime. As an adult, like you brush your teeth and like you clean your room, and it's deeper than that. It's the mindsets that you embrace because of the lack of love, attention, whatever it was that you did not get growing up. So if you're watching this and you just know you carry wounds from your childhood and you want to be better and you want to change and you want that new life, I would really assess the times in your life where you've hit rock bottom because of your own doing. The times in your life that have felt the most challenging and how your reaction was. Did you beat yourself up or did you give yourself grace? Did you even change the behavior or action, you know? Really, it takes a lot of analyzing and self-awareness to reparent yourself and know what areas and how to do so because and if you're watching this, I'm sure you're already naturally like analytical and have some type of awareness because if you weren't, you wouldn't be interested in this video. Reparenting yourself means giving yourself the importance that you once did not receive from your caregivers. Okay? Reparenting yourself could look like you affirming that you look good today. Like I think it's important as kids to we program kids to know like what's good and what's not. And if you never were like given that love, like, wow, you look really good today, baby, as a kid, or, I like the outfit you picked out, that can really do something to you. If that's something that happened to you as a child, or something along those lines, maybe your parents were just not there and no one was able to like give you these validating compliments, even though, external validation never matters. But as a kid, we don't know that. We don't know that someone else's validation, it doesn't matter. We learn that as an adult, right? As kids, it's important actually. I feel like it's important. It's just part of the process. We're not gonna ignore kids forever and not compliment them. Like, we don't, us humans are not programmed that way. We see a little grown up pretty, just, oh my god, that's such a cute dress. It's a natural way of being with children. But if you never got that love and attention and importance, that's what reparenting yourself can kind of look like, is giving yourself that space to compliment yourself, to embrace who you are, and really learn how to give yourself what you need. you know like I don't want to say like compare yourself to like the white picket fence family, but yeah, like what does that look like? If you imagine the white picket fence family and the second daughter is graduating high school, what do? They're going all out. They're like planning a dinner, they're planning a party on Saturday. Like, graduation is on Thursday, baby, we going out that night to dinner, and maybe to the movies after, or you get to go do whatever you want. And Saturday, we're gonna have another party, and all the family's coming over. Giving yourself that white picket fence energy, okay? And like that white picket fence energy to me is just like, the family that just like knows what they're doing and does it right. The generations have done things a certain way. There's unity, there's love, there's peace. There's not perfection, right? In family dynamics, there's no such thing as perfection, but for the most part, they have a really good foundation of family. Okay. So if you're on your journey of reparenting yourself, give yourself a lot of grace. It literally it does not end. Okay, it does not end. You will have to reparent yourself constantly because you'll have flare-ups of your old hardware. Okay, like the old settings within yourself are programmed, and I truly believe like they can't be eliminated. We just learn new behaviors. So oftentimes, like, you'll see as you recover and your journey of healing that it might flare up, right? It's like a pimple that never goes away. It's like, okay, you squeezed out the pus, it's clean. You maybe put some ointment on it, it's cool, but like it returns like a year later. You might have flare-ups of your old settings and programmings, but your job is to catch it and place that new behavior or whatever it is that new hardware setting onto your life. I hear a crow outside. Confirmation. Um so yeah, I think that's all I have to say about reparenting yourself. I'll probably continue to make videos on this. I think it's so important. When I came into this knowledge and I started applying it myself in my life, it was really one of the things that really excelled my consciousness because, you know, you have to be really aware of what it is that you need. So anyways, you guys, if you watch this video, thank you so much. I'm available for tarot readings, astrology natal readings, and life coaching sessions. You can follow me on the Goddess Talk and DM me there for more information on booking any of these services. And also you can look in the description and click all those links and book your session if you're ready. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.